Hello and welcome to today's global training. Today we're going to walk through how to use the Historic Insight tab in Advisor Go. This insight can be found by clicking on our Insights tab and finding the Historic Insight. This is a helpful stress testing tool that allows you to overlay historic market volatility into a client's plan so you can see how it may have reacted during a selected market period. So when we open the insight, you'll see the Historic Insight does use the S&P 500 index between 1950 and 2022. Using the slider tool, you can choose a specific historical period if you would like. For this example, we are going to go ahead and do 2008 through the current available period. This will allow us to see Martha and John's plan reacting to market volatility, including the market downturn that occurred in 2008. Before running the insight, I did want to note that accounts included in the simulation need to be modeled using asset allocations. If the invested accounts are not set up with asset allocations, Historic Insight will not be able to apply the simulation properly. So we'll go ahead and hit started since I know they do have a portfolio. First thing I want to look at is the cash flow chart, which we are currently in. So we can see in this example, there is some red in the end of the plan. So that means one account has been affected, and we can see that here. So if we go ahead and click on this area, we can see which accounts are affected by this insight. So the joint brokerage is the one that is going to be affected. So because there is shortfall in the plan, I do want to go ahead and compare this to the original plan, because as we can see, if that market were to happen, this does affect them in their later years starting in 2063, and moving forward we can see just how that is affected. We can also compare this to their assets because that's where this is going to matter the most. So if we scroll forward here, we will see that market has affected this by at least 10 million in those later years moving forward. So this would be something to really focus on with your client, make a plan. If this were to happen, what are some of our options that we could do to prevent this from happening and for us to be secure in our plan in those later years. We can also go into year view, and if we want to go into their investments account and scroll through up until these years in the red up here, we can see just exactly what is happening. So they don't have any investments left after the year 2063 because of this historic market insight. So this is going to be helpful to show how strong their plan is if this were to occur. And this is always a really good opportunity to take a look at their assets and make any adjustments there for the future. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out. You can always do this by selecting the client up in the top right corner and then selecting Request Support and just typing any questions you might have. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.